Hello, YouTube fam. It is me, Texas Beach Mom, or Mama Robin if you'd prefer. It is also Watch Wednesday, so here I am. Welcome back, and if you're new, just welcome. I am here on Wednesdays to talk to you about the Watts case, and I actually have a little bit of stuff to talk about tonight. For starters, I have heard a lot of comments about my mistake last week. So let me apologize up front. I was wrong. It wasn't the point of the what I was wrong about really didn't affect the point I was making, but I was still wrong. It wasn't a purchase on her computer. It was an auto pay subscription, and it wasn't hair color. It was shampoo and conditioner. She was trying to rectify it when she got home. And couldn't. So I did correct my mistake. I am very sorry. I made a mistake. Because I couldn't find it in the discovery and I couldn't remember what was going on exactly. And you hear so many different things. You watch different people, you hear different things. And I think, in all fairness to myself, and I'm sure we've all done this, I must have got some information mixed up, but I have just recently corrected it. I corrected it just now. I corrected it just now. It was an auto pay subscription for shampoo and conditioner. But the point of the video was simply this. Was she ambushed as soon as she got home? What the hell's the matter with my S's? Was she ambushed as soon as she got home? There we go. No. Maybe not as soon as she got home. So let's go back through that last week a little bit, and then I'll get on to the new stuff. She comes home, 1:48 in the morning. She kicks off her flip-flops by the door. She set her suitcase by the stairs, if I remember right. For just a minute, let's assume the things that she would go through coming home. Okay? So let's assume the things she would go through, because we have no way of knowing what she did. So you have to theorize. Okay. She comes home. She'd been not feeling well through the flight. She was probably thirsty, probably got herself a glass of water or something. She sits down at her computer. She tries to rectify the problem and can't get it rectified. And then all of a sudden, it clicks in her memory. Oh, that's right. My loving husband spent $68 at the Lazy Dog, salmon and beer. So that kicks in her head. She heads upstairs to go talk to him. But before she heads to the bedroom, she sweeps by the girls' room real quick. She checks them. They're probably fine. I mean, we have no way of knowing if they were or not, because he's confessed so many different things, but we're going to base it on the one that I believe makes the most sense. So she sweeps by, she checks on the kids. They're fine. Then she heads to the bedroom. He's not there. So she goes back down to the main floor and then down to the basement where that bed is. The reason why I say this, like I said, is because her Apple Watch does show that she did 3 flights of stairs, number 1. Number 2, the sheet was missing off the bed. And she did mess herself. It does say that. She does mess herself. And what it says is that he said that she messed herself. The sheet was missing off the bed. She goes upstairs, she checks on him. She may even change clothes while she was upstairs. Shit, I don't know. Then she goes downstairs frustrated about not being able to pay for her shampoo and her conditioner, realizing that he spent all that money. She goes downstairs to confront him. Was he alone? I don't know. Based on what he told his cellmate, yes, at that point he was still alone. and either at the stairs, because the dogs did go off there, but they also went off a lot by those boxes in front of the bed. So we don't know, but the whole question was she ambushed when she got home? Not immediately. Some YouTubers that believe in the explosion theory would have you believe that she was ambushed as soon as she got home by a bunch of people. I mean, in this one of the scenarios, we've got a whole bunch of people trying to ambush her and everything. No, it's just too many people. It doesn't make sense in my head, but that's not the reason for tonight's video. Okay. So the reason for tonight's video is this. I was channel surfing, as I do quite often on YouTube, and I stumbled upon what appears to be a new channel. I think they're actually a podcast, and then they put their podcast on YouTube as well. And from I can gather, they are a married couple, a husband and wife team. But they're not very friendly. Now, I'm going to give you the name of to go find them. Their name is simply called Perfectly Paired With ... Like if you're pairing a wine with some cheese and you want to know what's perfectly paired, it is literally called, the name of this channel or the name of their podcast is Perfectly Paired With ... They apparently make a drink that's perfectly paired with the crime. I don't know how you do that, but they make a drink, they sit and drink their drink, they talk about the crime, blah, blah, blah. There's 2 videos about Chris Watts. There's a part 1 and a part 2. Now, when I stumbled across them based on the animation, the drawing that they had of Chris Watts with his double horns and stuff, I thought, okay, they're going to talk about what a demonic asshole Chris Watts was. No. They did and they didn't. They did have some misinformation, and I'm not on them for that. We all make mistakes. I just got done cleaning one of mine up. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So if they had misinformation, fine. They do need to correct it, but that's not what I'm on them for. What I'm on them for, what I didn't like, and here's the thing. I was laying down in bed because I wasn't feeling really good, and I was about half asleep, half awake. But I was laying there listening to it because it wasn't a lot of visual. It's a podcast. It was a recorded podcast. Well, not a lot of visual to it. So I was laying in bed and I was kind of listening to it. And different things that were said made me sit up in bed, grab my phone, and go to their channel. And I was typing comments quick. And I've not heard back from them. And again, it's not so much about the misinformation because people make mistakes. Maybe they didn't have all the right information. Maybe they had it and didn't think it was necessary. Maybe they hadn't heard that information. There was a few things missing that I did let them know, hey, look, this information you have about Nate isn't correct. Nate admitted to lying about such and such and such. Or this information you have about I tried to give constructive criticism in my comments because I'm not after anyone unless you're just horrible to Shanann, in which case I'm kind of after you then. But what I didn't like about them is they made it perfectly clear from the beginning. Oh, we no way think Shanann was responsible for her own death. No. We would never say that about Shanann. We no way think that she was responsible for her own death. Chris did it, and he's a bad person for doing it. But if she wasn't such a bitch. Now, wasn't such a bitch probably was not their exact words. The husband was joking around about her being a bitch And the wife was making comments about her being a narcissist. And they were making observations like, well, we don't blame her for her death. What he did was wrong. It was horrible. But if she wasn't such a bitch. So, yeah, they kind of had me riled up. They kind of did. It did. It bothered me. Because they would say, well, we don't think she's in any way caused her own death. But, maybe if she hadn't been such a bitch at times, it wouldn't have pushed him to do what he did. Again, people, he did what he did because he was a narcissist. They do admit to him being a narcissist, but they also think she was one too. They think that she was a horrible wife. That she belittled him, everything she did. You know what I'm saying? They made several comments like that. So this is what I'm telling you. The name of the channel, the podcast and the channel, is literally called Perfectly Paired With. And then it says ... Perfectly paired with, like you're pairing wine with cheese or something. Perfectly Paired With. That's how you go find them. There is a Chris Watts thing. They got a part 1 and a part 2. The reason why I'm telling people about this, because I want everybody to go watch it for themselves. Make up your own mind about them. Don't rely on me on this one. Go watch it. Make up your own mind. And I want people to come back and I want you to leave me your opinion in the comments. Am I right about them? Am I wrong about them? What do you like about them? What don't you like about them? I want people to come back and say, hey, I watched it and this is what I thought. This is what I want. Because the best I could tell, they were fairly new. Not brand new, but fairly new. Best I could tell. I again could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I've always owned up to when I'm wrong. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I made a mistake. Because we all make them. And there is so much information out there. And sometimes some of the information is hard to find in the discovery because it's almost 2,000 pages long. And like you can go into the search bar and you can type up certain things, but if you don't type it up right, you don't search for it just right, you're never going to find it, number one. And number two, even if you do type it up somewhat right, they might have 13 pages of that particular subject, and so you find yourself reading through 13 pages of whatever. Now, I'm not saying that I can't do it because I do it. But one of the mistakes I have, or one of the things that seems to happen to me when I'm doing research like this, and I'm sure it's happened to everybody at least once, you're reading and reading and reading, you're going over things, and you can't find what it is you're looking for. And then all of a sudden somebody else kind of looks over your shoulder and they go, oh, it's right there. And you're like, the hell? So yeah, it does happen. And I will admit that sometimes I don't know if I just get distracted or what's going on. I admit that's one of the problems I have, especially when I'm going through that discovery. So if I overlook something, I am sorry. I will own up to it and I will go back and I'll fix it. That's the best I can give for everybody. Nobody's perfect. Nobody that runs a channel on here is perfect. Nobody. Absolutely no one. But, yeah, perfectly paired with. So that's what I want from y'all. I want you to go. I want you to find their podcast or watch the video. There's not much to watch. There's not a lot of visuals, just a lot of audio. But go back, find their video, find their podcast, Perfectly Paired With. Watch it, listen to it. Come back in the comments and let me know. Because I was kind of upset with some of the things that they said. But maybe I'm being overly sensitive. I I don't know. So that's what I want from you guys. And yes, there will be a Friday Night Live. I think we're going to do some more on the Menendez brothers because that's really becoming a thing. That's picking up popularity. Well, the majority of your mainstream true crime YouTubers or content creators are talking a lot about Wade Wilson still, or Madeline Soto and stuff like that. And I get that. But I don't think enough attention is being paid to the Menendez brothers. So that will be Friday Nights Live at 10 o'clock. I would like for people to join me. I love it when y'all join me in a live and you chat with me in the live. First of all, it makes it go faster. It doesn't feel like it's just dragging. And second of all, it just makes it more fun, I think, for everybody. I like exchanging ideas. So that Friday night will probably be the Menendez brothers, 10 o'clock. But I think that's all I have for you today. I corrected my mistake and I pointed out another channel that it looks like it's fairly new. I want y'all to go watch it. I want you to come back. I want you to leave comments about it. And I love you all. Happy birthday if you had a birthday already. Or if you got one coming up, happy early birthday or happy belated birthday. Happy anniversary to anybody out there that's got an anniversary coming up. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. Make good decisions. And I love you all. And I'll see some of you Friday night and probably the rest of you next Wednesday. So, good night for now.